Okay, everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit today about one of my books. This one right here in particular. Wrote this one back a long time ago. It came out in 2014. It's about a world war, the next one that could occur. And my point was with the book is what happens if that war goes nuclear and it goes nuclear from kind of the get-go. And in the book, I came up with this idea that, hey, um, what happened if somebody got nukes? So I started looking around the world, and I'm a physicist by training, right? And at the time, I was working on the problem of detecting nuclear material when it's being smuggled throughout the world. And you have to ask yourself, does that actually happen? Well, it turns out it actually does, or they wouldn't need sensors to stop it. And I was helping work on some of the sensors that we had in the lab at MIT, and other people had kind of invented those. And I said, okay, those are really for dark matter and some other stuff, but hey, you could use it for neutron detection. And you actually shift it out of the lab and get it into the field to do things with it. And sure enough, you can, which was an interesting project from a nuclear physics side, but it got me thinking about the nuclear weapons side and how big of a problem is that really? And I said, okay, if I was going to put my nuclear head on for a minute, you look around the world where all the nuclear reactors are and who's got access to the right equipment, who's got access to the right personnel to kind of make that real. The only answer I came up with was Iran. It was the only country that I said could actually do it. And in the book, we said Iran would have 5 nuclear weapons if we kind of played it out exactly right. Sure enough, about a week ago, there was a press release by some folks and some news coverage about Iran being 2 weeks away from nuclear weapons. And I did a video over the weekend of what that looks like, or what that entails for them getting to that point, or how they would actually get to that point. But in the book, we actually said it would take, their first pass at building them would build 5 nuclear weapons. Well, it turns out the news articles again are Iran building 5 nuclear weapons. In the book, we said if you're going to be stupid enough to go take on the United States and launch nukes first and exhaust your nuclear platform, exhaust it, just be done with it, right? So you're going to launch them all at once. Where would you put them? And what kind of circumstance would it cause you to be confident enough that was an okay thing to go do? And I said, well, if I were Iran and put my tactical hat on for a minute and say, hey, look, I'm going to go come up with a strategy and a way to kind of win. I said, you'd have to have the United States just be in the absolute middle of political chaos. Now, in the book, I handled it a different way. We said, Mike and I, when we wrote it, we came up with, hey, what happens if the president's impeached and on the way to being sworn in, the vice president is assassinated? And as a result, you have the Speaker of the House thrown into the presidency, this complete unknown guy. What you have is the United States in this middle of this political chaos. Well, we're a week out, 2 weeks out from Iran being able to field nuclear weapons, according to reports from different sources. And you can Google it and find those reports. They're all over. They got buried by an assassination attempt on Trump and President Biden pulling out of the presidential election. So now we've got one candidate with Trump running for president, and agree or disagree with him. The guy loves to create chaos. And we got another party who, well, the president pulled out. The vice president thinks she's the nominee. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. We won't know until the actual the convention a month from now. We're in the middle of political chaos. We got a lot of weird stuff going on around the world. We got Israel blowing stuff up. We've got Ukraine. We got Putin. We've got stuff just blowing up left and right. And the U.S. is kind of in a weird spot where we have a lame duck president for 6 months now, 7 months. It's July. Yeah, 7 months, 6 months, where he has sort of he's done, right? He's got 6 months of, hey, I'm not going to be president next time. Lame duck guy, right? Why support him? He's out. So if he needs to go do something big, does he have support of Congress? Does he have support of Senate? I don't know. But I do know we're in the middle of political chaos. That much is clear. Now, we're also in a spot where there's people blowing stuff up all over the world. And Iran is a week away, week or 2 weeks out from nuclear weapons. Well, we came pretty close. I don't just want to say that they're actually going to go use them, but Iran has said for years that if they had them, they'd want to use them. Now, ask yourself the next question is what we asked ourselves in the book. If you have a president in office, pick your president from the last 20 years, who's not necessarily the strongest, not necessarily the most resolved in the world, maybe one who doesn't have the right political backing. If you had an enemy, and that was the point to our book, if you had an enemy who had used their entire nuclear arsenal at once, they have no more nukes left. Do you go back nuclear or do you go back conventional? And what if their nuclear attack limited your capability to go conventional, which is what we did? So what does that situation look like? Well, here it is, published in 2014. Turns out the precursor, the opening of this book is coming dangerously close to the world stage we have today. So it's been out for a long time. It's over on Amazon. It's got a 4.1 star rating, over 500 plus reviews. It's on paperback, Kindle, and Audible. It's also under Kindle Unlimited, so if you're a part of that program, you can read it at no cost to you except your monthly subscription fee to the program. So hope you enjoy the book. Hope it doesn't go exactly the way we put it, because I live pretty close to one of the targets, but hopefully the calmer heads will prevail in the world. But maybe not. We're coming pretty close. Everybody have a great day. Click like, subscribe, follow wherever you see me. Have a great one.